Do you think Kayla is cheating on Mia with Shauna?
Yeah.
It has been far too long since we've covered an episode of Help, I'm in a Secret Relationship, and many of you have been requesting it for quite some time, so here we are. I had to give the people what they wanted. Just a little brief reminder if you forgot or you don't actually know how the show works. It primarily focuses on couples that are together, engaged, married, apparently very deeply in love, but they're hiding massive secrets from their partner, and one person feels as if they're being hidden, so they're the ones who write into the show for help, and the hosts try to get to the bottom of it all. Ronnie Jones and Travis Mills host the show, and in my opinion, they're a great duo. Their chemistry is off the charts in terms of like hosting, and I feel like they balance each other out very well. The show is messy. I would argue messier than Catfish, and that is saying a lot. The first episode aired on April 26th, 2022, so it's a fairly new show in the grand scheme of things. I do have a whole playlist where we break down a bunch of these episodes, so if you like this one or you like the premise, then you can always go and check that out afterwards. I would, however, appreciate you becoming an official part of the community that we are growing over here by hitting that subscribe button, because you know that you'll be here for this upload and the next upload and the next and so on and so forth. So might as well just subscribe now. But let's officially get into the episode. This is season 1, episode 1, Mia and Kayla. So this is the couple who really kind of set the tone. This was the very first episode ever. We are in Los Angeles for this episode with an engaged couple who is soon to be married. Mia is 30 years old, and we never find out how old Kayla is, but I'm just going to guess that she is around the same age. They've been together for 3 years and they have been engaged for a year. Mia is the one in the relationship that wrote into the show because she feels like she's being hidden. Kayla believes that they're filming a show about emerging artists, as they are both artists and they're both currently pursuing a music career, if not already having a music career. It's kind of not clear what the vibe is, but it's one of the two. According to Mia, they both have substantial social media pages, and honestly, I will say that their music is much better than Mama's Boy T, okay?
Personality split, bitch. I ain't talking about the movie Split, bitch.
If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I will leave the link to that video in the description. The two also make couples content together, which is definitely something, like comedic couples content.
I'm a grandma. I do tricks.
The two are very close with Mia's family, particularly Mia's mom, Selena. And I just have to say, these women are stunning. I love to see some beautiful women, not necessarily when they're caught up in some mess, but I love to see beautiful women nonetheless. Mia then tells us that she feels hidden because despite being together for 3 years, she has never met any of Kayla's family, like not a single person, parents, siblings, cousins, nobody. And Mia doesn't even know who from Kayla's family will be going to their wedding. Honestly, Mia reminds me of Debrat. But on the way to meet Mia in person, Ronnie says that this situation hits home for her because as a gay woman, she has been hidden previously for a variety of reasons. Oftentimes it's because that person is not out to their family. But she says regardless of the reason, it just breeds insecurity, and I can definitely understand how that would be the case.
I've had situations where I've been hidden does make you severely insecure.
I can't see how anything good would come out of feeling like you're somebody's secret. Travis then asks what the hell we are all thinking, I'm sure. How do you get engaged to somebody without meeting any of their family? Despite the family all being alive and well and like Kayla is in contact with them, Mia just is not. Ronnie says there's no way in hell she would ever do that, and I cannot agree with her more. I need to know what I'm getting myself into, what I'm about to legally tie myself to. The hosts then pull up on Mia, and one of the things I love about the show is the fact that Ronnie and Travis's fits are always on point. They're never really matching, but they are usually coordinating, and I don't know, I just like that. I find it pleasing. But anyways, Mia is very happy to see them. She shows them a bit of her music and raps for them, and it's definitely some of the better music we've heard on any of these type of shows. Ronnie and Travis are really into it. They're really feeling it. When we finally sit down and get into all of it, Mia tells us that their relationship moved extremely quickly. They originally met in Philly and then they moved to LA after only being together for like 2 minutes. And Kayla is actually the one who proposed to Mia. Mia says that Kayla is her absolute best friend, the love of her life, but she cannot invest anymore emotionally or move forward in their relationship without knowing why she has been hidden all of this time. She then tells us some of the excuses that Kayla has given her. And let's just say that they all sound like valid reasons in isolation. However, when you put them all together, they just sound like a stinking pile of BS to me. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. That's just what I think.
Every time I talk to her about it, she just deflects, gets frustrated, Turns into argument.
Like, Kayla's father is sick. He's in the hospital. He had a stroke. He had a brain aneurysm. Her mom is the father's caretaker. Kayla doesn't want to stress them out.
Are we living in the same universe?
If you're getting married, I genuinely doubt your parents would be stressed by meeting your partner and your soon-to-be wife unless there are bigger underlying issues that you have not disclosed to your partner yet. But again, just my take on it. Kayla has told Mia that she and her siblings have previously fallen out. They are now trying to mend their relationships, and she doesn't want to put any stress on those relationships as she's trying to fix them.
And so, like, I understand there's a lot going on with her family.
However, if that's the case, in my opinion, it sounds like Kayla isn't considering how all of this would put pressure on her romantic relationship, which is definitely something, like trying to prioritize the familial relationships and repairing those rather than trying to strengthen arguably one of the most important relationships in your life is definitely a choice. Their wedding is supposed to be less than a year away, so Mia is stressed the hell out. Mia then tells us that Kayla has been in one long-term relationship before they got together. And she says that Kayla's ex, Shauna, had a baby right before she and Kayla got together. Kayla and Shauna were together for 6 years. So for those 6 years, Kayla helped raise Shauna's child. When Mia and Kayla got together, Kayla, understandably so, wanted to continue to be in the baby's life because, yeah, that's her baby too. Like, biologically, that's not her kid. But if you raise a kid from 0 to 6 years old, that's your kid. However, Mia was not comfortable with that.
So she asked me about that, and I was like, She's like, okay, out of respect, no, don't worry about it.
So according to Mia, Kayla cut all contact with Shauna and the baby.
I'm a mommy.
Excuse me?
Be nice. I'm finding it. It take you that long to find it? It does.
Personally, I am now side-eyeing both Mia and Kayla, okay? Because don't get me wrong, Mia is absolutely allowed to have her boundaries. And if she doesn't want to be with someone who has kids or has stepkids, that is absolutely fine. But I don't think that she should be able to issue a sort of pseudo ultimatum to her partner and lead that partner to cut all contact with a child she helped raise for 6 years when she still wants to be in that child's life. Kayla is getting a side eye from me because if Shauna, despite the fact that you guys broke up, is still allowing you to be in the child's life and you personally want to be a parental figure to this child, I don't think that that is something worth throwing away a relationship for. But Mia makes it sound like Kayla cut Shauna and her stepchild off without a second thought, like it's not a big deal. I just don't see a world where that is anything but a big deal.
Clock it.
That's pretty significant. And that makes me like low-key not like Mia as much. Again, you're allowed to have your boundaries, but I don't think, like in my mind, they start talking, right? Kayla's like, yeah, like I help raise this child. I want to be in the child's life. I want to stay in contact with my ex because obviously I have to stay in contact with the ex to stay in contact with the child. How do you feel about that? Mia says, no, I'm not cool with that. You kind of have to cut contact with her if you want to be with me. Kayla says, okay, cool.
What the hell is even that?
I feel like what Mia should have done, okay, I understand that that's something that's very important to you. I can respect that. That's admirable. However, that is not necessarily something that's going to work for me. I think we should just be friends. In my mind, that's how that situation would go. Not Kayla being like, okay.
What?
We listen and we judge.
But that's just my opinion. Mia's red flags then just appear to get brighter and brighter because she says that one thing about both she and Kayla is that they have never been with men, but which is like a little bit of like a tense and an awkward situation, I think, for the host to be in. So they try to cut the tension by saying this.
Neither one of us ever been with men.
Same.
Same.
Look at us.
Mia then doubles down and she says that she does not want to deal with women who have dealt with men in the past or have any sort of attraction to men. She says that she has been burned in the past by cheating partners being with men. Okay. Now, folks who are lesbian, who are bisexual or pansexual, or fall under the LGBTQ plus queer umbrella have discussed this topic over and over, and I have witnessed a lot of these conversations take place online. And from my understanding, most view this gold star lesbian concept and mindset as harmful and inherently biphobic because viewing a woman as tainted because of her previous relationships is harmful, regardless of the personal justifications behind it. That is just my understanding of these conversations. A creator I very much enjoy watching, Nia, aka Bit Nia, has discussed this mindset at length in a bunch of her videos. So if you are looking for a more in-depth analysis of this from a lesbian, I would recommend checking her out. I would also recommend checking out Jewel, aka Jewel Amina, who is another Black lesbian creator whose videos I'm obsessed with. She did a very in-depth breakdown of this topic specifically in her recent Court and Lex analysis video. So I would recommend checking out all of her videos, but specifically that one if you are looking for a more concise breakdown and one that like particularly focuses on the topic at hand. But back to the episode. Mia's family knows that she's gay. They know that she's out of the closet, and Kayla has told Mia that she is also out of the closet with her family. Mia is under the impression that Kayla's family knows about her and their relationship, but obviously, she has not been able to verify that information as truth because she is not in contact with them. Mia believes that she's only really being hidden for one of two reasons. One, Kayla is cheating, and two, Kayla could be trying to take advantage of her industry connections, using her for clout and or money. Both scenarios are deal breakers for her.
It's over.
And she gets very emotional when saying this, particularly when saying that she is proud of her relationship and she wants her partner to feel the same way.
I'm proud of our relationship. I want her to be proud too.
Which is completely valid, and I think that everybody wants that, so I don't blame her for that. Also able to understand how this relationship would be amplified when you are in a relationship that exists outside of societal norms, right? I feel like that pressure would weigh a little bit heavier on you. Rahne then gets emotional with Mia when saying that she deserves to know the truth, but also she deserves to be celebrated in her love. This is just one of the many reasons I love Rahne and Travis as hosts. It's clear that this is weighing very heavily on Mia, and they are genuinely, like, sincerely empathetic towards her, which I think is beautiful. At least that's my read of it. Mia tells them that they should start their investigation by talking to her sister Lex, her mother Selena, and her best friend Yolina because Kayla is extremely close with all of them. They comfort Mia, they say their goodbyes, and then they head out. Right outside Mia's house, I don't know why they do this, it makes me laugh in every episode that I see them do this, they get to snooping on Kayla's Instagram, and let's just say the girls got some thirst traps.
Love the color of the baby suit. I'm trying my hardest not to look at this ass.
And under these thirst traps, they see very thirsty comments. But Kayla is responding and encouraging some of these comments, and they see that she's really doing this with a lot of men, which sets off alarm bells for Rahne and Travis, considering Mia is under the impression neither of them have been with men or have any sort of interest or attraction to men. However,
and I could be wrong, but I rarely am.
Maybe this is just my take. I think that interacting with somebody under your photo doesn't necessarily mean that you have an interest or an attraction to them. I think it's just you interacting with somebody, and it's just something that creators will do to boost the engagement on their post. So I don't really see that as that serious, but for whatever reason, they see it as very serious. So the investigation kicks off by meeting Lex and Selena, Mia's mom and sister. They meet at this cute little mochi donut spot. One thing I will say about this show, they be taking every opportunity they get to eat or drink or go to a restaurant. I live for that. I don't know why. Selena says that she is very happy for her daughter and for Kayla. She loves Kayla for Mia, and she thinks that they are a great match. However, she doesn't think it's right for them to get married without Kayla's family even meeting or speaking to Mia. Lex then says that she has a secret to reveal, something nobody knows. She says that one day she was just scrolling on social media, doing her thing, when she noticed a comment on one of Kayla's recent posts that said, "Kay, we miss seeing that beautiful booty at the club."
Hey, we miss seeing this beautiful booty at the club.
What does it mean?
What's that about?
What does it mean?
Lex says that when she went to Rahne, the commenter's page, it became clear that she works at a strip club, and she and Kayla post similarly provocative photos on Instagram. This automatically made Lex question, or I should say suspect, that Kayla is hiding a secret dancing career from everyone, including Mia.
So like, she might be a stripper.
Oh my God, please no.
Now, if this is true, that is shocking. Because why would you hide your job from your soon-to-be wife? Like, she's gonna find out at some point. That just feels really weird to me. Not just because of it's like a dancing job. I think it would be weird to hide any job from a fiance. But also, this just feels like a random red herring, something that is just thrown on the plot line to throw us off of the trace of what's actually going on, because her dancing, in my opinion, would have very little to do with Mia not meeting Kayla's family. However, Lex is standing 10 toes down on this theory for whatever reason. She says that she never brought this up to Mia because she doesn't have any concrete proof, just like a suspicion, and she knows that Mia, quote unquote, doesn't condone those types of behaviors.
I think she's a stripper. She does not condone those type of behaviors.
And believes that Mia would then try to contact Kayla's parents to stage some sort of intervention. What the hell are we talking about? What are we talking about right now, actually, for real? The hosts then thank them for their time and head out, and for whatever reason, they believe the theory that Lex just threw out there, and I don't understand why. I can't understand why, because the theory sounds completely ludicrous to me personally, and that's saying a lot, because we had a whole conspiracy theorist episode of this show, and the theories that were thrown out in that episode made more sense. That will also be linked in the description. But the hosts get in the car, they get to messaging Rahne, the commenter, basically just asking her when she is free and asking when they can talk to her, assuming that she's going to talk to them. Ronnie and Travis then link back up the next day, and Travis lets us know that Rahne actually hit him back. Rahne said that they used to work together, and then she slipped up, in my opinion. She sent Travis a screenshot of their conversation, and to me, not saying that I've done that, I've almost done that.
But I never slipped.
But to me, it's clear that she was trying to send that to somebody else. She was moving a little bit too quickly. And so she didn't succeed in actually sending it to someone else and just sent it back to Travis. Travis and Ronnie talk about how crazy that is.
Oh, you slipped up.
But they just ignore it when actually talking to her. And Travis proceeds with the conversation and asks how she and Kayla know each other. She reads their message immediately, but does not respond. So they decide that the next best move is to video call Yolina, Mia's best friend, who Kayla is also very close to. So they video call her, they briefly fill her in on what's going on. Yolina says that Kayla is great, but there have been some sus situations. This is really not relevant at all. I just have to tell you what I'm observing. We know Travis is tall. Travis is tall as hell. So the way he's crouched down and hunched over so he can be in the shot of the video call and also hear what Yolina is saying is so funny to me. But anyways, Yolina says that recently they were at the studio and Kayla's phone was charging. She went to the bathroom, and then when it was charging, sitting there, Yolina was able to see that there was a bunch of texts and calls coming in from Shauna, the ex that Kayla claims to no longer be in contact with. Travis straightens up real quick when he hears this.
She had a bunch of calls, text messages come in from Shauna.
As soon as Kayla came back in the room, she grabbed the phone and went to speak with Shauna in the hallway. Mia did not see this. She was in the booth recording at the time. She does not know about the situation. But to Yolina and the host, this makes it clear that Kayla is in fact still in contact with her ex, and maybe she never cut contact with her ex. This angle to me is much more probable than the fairy tale that Lex was believing in. Yolina then straight up says that she believes that Kayla is cheating on Mia with Shauna.
Do you think Kayla is cheating on Mia with Shauna?
Yeah.
Which, if that is what you believe, and you're supposed to be Mia's best friend, why would you not say something? Why would you wait till you speak to a TV show? That's messy boots and I don't like it. But our hosts then meet back up with Mia at a Korean barbecue spot to fill her in on what they were able to find. Again, I told you they'll take any opportunity to eat, and I love that because me too. Low key, me too. But when they kind of lay things out for her, Mia is dumbfounded to hear about the Midnight Ballerina allegations. She kind of giggles when she hears it at first because she's just not believing it. It just does not seem realistic or true to her. It doesn't make sense to her. Also doesn't make sense to me. But she says if this were true, she would be livid and she would basically end the relationship.
It's one thing to do it and me to feel how I feel about it. It's a whole nother thing to do it and then keep it from me.
When they tell her about the cheating with Shauna theory, she says nothing and immediately begins to cry. Through tears, she says that Kayla has made her believe that she hasn't spoken to Shauna in a very long time. She also questions why Yolina wouldn't tell her, which is valid, and she's obviously very upset. There's a robin. There's a bunch of robins outside my window and I have a robin tattoo. There's one of my favorite birds. My goodness.
2,000 years later.
But as I was saying, Mia is very upset, obviously, at what she's just been told, but she's also upset at the fact that Yolina didn't tell her sooner, both of which are valid. I think I would be very upset. I don't know if that would be like my friend, because they're like, oh, I didn't want to upset you. You're supposed to be my friend, girl. You'd rather me stay with somebody who you think is cheating on me than tell me the truth?
You stupid.
All right. Mia says if any of these theories are true, it would make it very easy for her to end the relationship and walk away. Mia wastes no time getting on the phone with Kayla. Mia immediately comes clean about why the show is there, and Kayla is pissed, and she cannot believe that Mia felt the need to take it this far, but like, come on, girl. You've been together for 3 years. You've been engaged for one of those 3 years. You're clearly hiding a lot of things. I don't think you can be mad at her for trying to get to the root of all the things that you're hiding. Mia says it's time for them to sit down and put it all on the table. Rahne and Travis then take the phone and they try to gently encourage Kayla to have the conversation and see that having the conversation is what's best for Mia, but it's ultimately what's best for their relationship. Kayla isn't going for it. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a damn about anything they have to say. She says that they don't know her. She doesn't want to do this. They don't know her relationship. Basically, like, they need to buzz off. Mia then takes the phone back and sets a very clear ultimatum. We have this conversation or we don't get married. We have this conversation or we don't move forward with our relationship. In fact, our relationship will end.
If we do not do this, there will be no wedding.
Kayla says she doesn't know if she can do this. Mia tells her she has to, but that doesn't make Kayla budge. So then Mia says that she will be staying somewhere else as she doesn't want to see Kayla's face until after they have the conversation.
I don't know if I can do this.
You have to. I'm gonna make sure I stay at a friend's tonight because I don't want to see you until we have this conversation.
Okay, I understand that Mia wants answers. However, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way that she's speaking to her. I'm not really sure what exactly is making me feel this way. This is just the way that I'm feeling in this moment. It feels like the boundaries and ultimatums that Mia are attempting to set sound more and more like a way to control Kayla's actions rather than genuinely protecting herself. Like, you saying, you know what, we have the conversation or the relationship ends, that's fine, but I don't want to see your face until we have this conversation. Some of the things just feel like unnecessarily harsh. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. And it's coming off a little bit, like I said, a little bit less about protecting herself and a little bit more about trying to control Kayla's actions. I think in part I'm feeling this way because of the fact that I viewed Mia's actions as a little bit controlling when making Kayla cut contact with her stepdaughter. Maybe that's just me though. Maybe I'm completely off base here. She does have a right to get answers. However, the way she's going about it is interesting to say the least. Which it's definitely like, I don't know, a little bit of a red flag to me, like a baby one, but it's definitely setting off like little alarm bells for me, especially when paired with everything else that Mia had to say at the beginning of the episode. But this ultimately just makes Kayla even more mad, so she's pissed and ends the conversation.
I cannot see your face right now without you being able to answer the questions I have.
Sorry, whatever.
Mia then immediately gets emotional and says that she's frustrated because she would do anything for Kayla, but Kayla won't do this one thing for her. The next day, we all meet back up and we find out that Kayla has agreed to talk to them, so they go to pick Mia up and get the confrontation started. I will say these confrontations are typically different than the catfish situations because it's more about trying to coax information out of somebody and work towards a resolve. Like, I don't think the hosts just want there to be drama. They want things to genuinely be resolved and feel like something productive came out of the conversations, whereas catfish, it doesn't always feel like that. But back to this. Mia says that she is nervous because she basically had to force Kayla into having this conversation.
It makes me nervous. Feels like I had to force her kind of into this.
And it's like, yeah, girl, I too would be a little bit nervous. And if you genuinely believe this person loves you, this person wants to be with you, then in theory, they would have no problem having those hard conversations because they know that those hard conversations are going to lead to a stronger and healthier relationship with more trust. But it just, I don't know, it's not giving that right now. So yeah, I would be nervous too if I was Mia. We arrive at their house and get right into things. Rahne tries to ease the tension by reminding them of the love shared between the two and then gives Mia the floor. Mia gives a half-hearted apology for lying about why the show was there, but basically says that it's Kayla's fault that she had to lie.
Sorry that I had to say this was something else at first. My hands were tied.
Okay.
She then begins to cry and say that this has been really hard for her. Kayla said that the last night was really hard for her too, and she's confused because Mia all of a sudden being like, well, I'm not coming home. That's something Mia has never done. So that kind of like pulled the rug out from under her, and I can understand why that would be confusing. So when they bring up all of the different theories as to why she's lying, what she's hiding, Kayla says that she used to DJ in a strip club, but she was never a dancer. It's not something that she was comfortable doing. So as I suspected, that theory was way off.
I did used to work in the club, but I was DJing, but that was it.
Kayla says she kept this a secret because she thought Mia would think less of her or think differently of her because of it. Mia does not address this directly, but then brings up the cheating theory with Shauna. Mia straight up asks her, "Are you cheating on me with Shauna?" Kayla takes a deep breath before admitting to the fact that she and Shauna did speak that time that Yolina saw all those messages pop up. Kayla says that Shauna was hysterical about her daughter. Apparently she was very, very sick.
Her daughter was having some COVID symptoms, or she was exposed to it.
And the conversation was strictly about the daughter, nothing else. Mind you, this child is like low-key Kayla's child as well. So in my mind, it makes sense that this phone call happened. It makes sense that Shauna would call Kayla in an attempt to confide in her and also just keep her up to date with what's going on. However, Kayla says that during this conversation, she was worried about Mia finding out. So she told Shauna to never call her again.
And I made it very clear that she cannot call me.
While, okay, I do think that Kayla should have been honest. She should have just told Mia this. I'm getting the feeling that Kayla is hiding things. She's wrong to hide things. She's wrong to lie. But it seems like she's also like a little bit scared of Mia and what her reaction would be. Not that that is a valid reason for hiding things. However, that's the impression that I'm getting based off of what she said so far. Mia, again, does not directly address anything that Kayla has just said and brings up how her past has a better relationship with Kayla's family than she does.
It feels like your past has a better relationship with your family than me.
Referring to a previous partner that you were with for 6 years and the child that you loved and helped raise as your past is just throwing me off. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm just not like a big fan of Mia. Sorry guys, I don't know what to tell you. As Mia is under the belief that Shauna and her child have relationships with Kayla's family that Mia has not been given the opportunity to have. So it's like a sore spot for her. Mia says she's tired of all the deflection and she wants answers. Kayla then brings up Mia's gold star lesbian rule and says that is in part why she was so nervous to admit that she had in fact been with a man before, and that man is still kind of actively involved in her life.
I have been with a guy before, and he is still involved in my life.
Excuse me? What do you mean? What do you mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I do think Kayla should have just been honest. It feels like, I don't know, Kayla's like a little... It's like she's manipulative emotionally. I don't know if she's doing it intentionally, but by hiding things that you know your partner is going to be upset by, you're trying to like curb their view of you and trying to evade the boundaries that they have. Whether you agree with them or not, that's the boundaries that they have. And it seems like for so long, Mia was okay with not knowing these things, but she just had enough of it. So after finding this out, Mia's tears, because she was crying before, they immediately dry up, and the only emotion that I can see on her face is straight rage. I can't tell what she's more upset about, if she's more upset about the fact that Kayla's gold star is no more, or if she's more upset about the fact that she has been lied to from the very beginning of their relationship. Kayla then admits that she and her sister have never had a falling out. They are extremely close, and Kayla's sister is actually engaged to the only man she has previously been with.
She's engaged to the guy that I was with before.
What? You and your sister never had a falling out. You guys are extremely close, but she's engaged to the only man you've ever been with. There's no other men where you guys live. You're from Philly. No other man lives there?
Be fucking for real.
Yuck. But Kayla says that this is why she has kept her family away. She made her sister promise to never reach out to Mia because she never wanted Mia to find out that she doesn't actually have a gold star, because she knew that that would be the end of their relationship.
Listen, and we're judging hard.
Mia says that this is a lot for her to take in, and this is when Rahne jumps in. She says that she can sense that Kayla is fearful and gets Kayla to admit that her fear has been a huge roadblock in their communication. It is the reason that they are lacking in open communication. Mia then is unable to understand why Kayla would be afraid to communicate with her, And while I think that Kayla should have been honest, the reasons why she's afraid are very clear. Mia does not necessarily come off as an easy person to have these hard conversations with. It seems like it's very much her way or the highway. And if her partner does anything she doesn't like or adhere to her arbitrary rules, then she's quick to leave instead of working things out. And while I'm not judging her for that, you are allowed to move how you want to move in relationships. You don't have to put up with anything you don't want to put up with. The way that you move can be the very reason that your partner might be afraid to speak to you of these things. Doesn't justify her fear, but that's where it's coming from. Kayla then cries some more before admitting to one final thing, I think probably the biggest thing out of all of the confessions so far, that her mom has no idea that she and Mia are dating, let alone engaged.
My mom thinks that we're just friends. She doesn't know that we're in a relationship.
Her mom and her dad are under the impression that they are just friends. Essentially, her mother is homophobic. She would not support her loving, marrying, or being in a relationship with a woman.
She doesn't believe in two women being together.
Shauna was also kept a secret in terms of their relationship. She just brought her around like as a friend for basically their entire relationship, about the whole 6 years. But when Shauna laid an ultimatum, Kayla came clean to her family, and it led to a lot of familial turmoil. Kayla says that her mom disowned her and used religion to shame her.
How's it gonna feel to know you won't be in heaven with the rest of your family?
And her mom told her that if she ever saw her, she would just treat her like a stranger on the street. Disgusting behavior. Disgusting behavior. This is horrendous. I cannot imagine you disowning your child. It's
about to have one of those moments.
If your child is not hurting anyone, they are happy, they are healthy, they have a loving partner, they have a fulfilling life, that should be your main concern. Who they're sleeping with is none of your concern. That's none of your business. People really aggravate me with this type of stuff. I feel like this also would explain why Kayla is so willing to ditch the ex of 6 years and ditch the child she helped raise to keep Mia in her life, because she's experienced the other side of things when you go against what somebody wants and then they cut you off and they treat you like garbage. She doesn't want Mia to go away. She doesn't want Mia to cut her off or treat her like garbage. So she's lying and she's hiding things. Again, not justifying it. She should just be honest. I do understand where kind of this trauma, at least from her side, is coming from. Kayla then says that her father does in fact have memory issues related to a brain aneurysm. So every time her mother reminded him of the situation or had to tell him about the situation when he would ask about Kayla, he would become traumatized all over again as if the situation had just happened.
Each time she would remind my dad, it was like he was reliving it over and over again.
So it was causing a lot of, and this is the thing, she says it was causing a lot of trauma for her parents. However, her parents are the ones causing the trauma for her parents. You should not be traumatized by your child being a lesbian. That's ridiculous.
Get some help.
Your husband had a brain aneurysm. Okay, a lot of people don't survive that kind of thing. He did survive it. You should be worried about other things besides who your daughter wants to be with. That is really like stupid. Sorry.
I just let it rock.
And then you have Kayla internalizing this and blaming herself for her parents' shortcomings. But also, this makes me think, at least in my mind, I don't think, just tinfoil hats on, Kay, it makes me question, makes me wonder, makes me think if Kayla ever really did want to break up with Shauna, or if how her family reacted forced that breakup. Like, does she still have feelings for Shauna? However, Kayla says she swore to never put herself in a situation like that again, and that is why Mia has been a secret.
I would never put myself in that position again. I didn't want to tell her about us.
I think this is a really good example of how people are very complex beings. It's very rare that things are black and white. However, she is wrong for lying. You are able to understand that all of this is just rooted in trauma. She has only experienced negative things from being honest and transparent with people she cares about, i.e. her parents. She has only ever experienced abandonment and trauma as related to that. So it's not that it's understandable. I can understand the psychology behind her making the decision she's made. Not that it's right, not that it's valid, but I can understand how she's operating from like a traumatized, trying to protect herself and also protect Mia at the same time. It's not right the way she did it, but when you have up family, you're gonna make decisions that aren't necessarily the healthiest because you don't know how to operate from that place. Kayla then says through tears that she loves Mia and she doesn't want her to feel hidden, but she also doesn't want to lose her family. She has been so scared for their entire relationship because she doesn't know what to do.
I don't want you to feel like you're a secret, and it scares me because I really don't know what to do.
She wants her family to be there for her and be present at her wedding, but she doesn't know if she can ever make that a reality, if she can have her family involved in her life anymore. And at this point, there is not a dry eye in the room. And I can understand why, because this is a very hard situation to be in. This is a very difficult situation to be in. I do think that Kayla owed Mia honesty. And if these were kind of like internal issues that she had not dealt with, she had not figured out, then she didn't need to be pursuing a relationship with somebody who doesn't want anybody tied to kids, wants to be like with your family, know your family, wants somebody who's not in the closet. Like, you kind of lied to her about everything that she expressed at the beginning of the relationship were deal breakers. Whether I agree with her deal breakers are not irrelevant. Those are her deal breakers. You lied about all of them. It's just like a tricky situation because yes, Kayla is wrong for lying. However, it's not her fault that her family sucks. I will say though, Mia is much more understanding than I ever expected her to be. She apologizes to Kayla for having to go through this alone. She says that she's grateful for the honesty, for the transparency, and she never wants Kayla to feel like she's going through anything alone, let alone something as intense and serious as this.
I am so sorry that you had to go through this alone. All I want to do is be there for you.
Mia says that she will always be there for her, and then they remind each other of how much they love each other. Mia makes Kayla promise to let her be there for her. And it's like all of the lies, all of the deception, everything is just gone out the window. The fact that Kayla had to cut off contact with her, basically her daughter, her stepdaughter, to be in a relationship with Mia, gone out the window. The fact that Kayla has been lying for 3 years, gone out the window.
Okay.
It's just all of a sudden everything is forgiven, and I don't really understand that, especially with how mad Mia was earlier, before the confrontation. But if they like it, I don't love it, but that's cool. You guys do that. You do that. I do think though that when discussing something so serious and so heavy like this, Kayla deserved empathy and support. However, to just act as if she wasn't lying for the past 3 years is a little bit wild. But Rahne and Travis say how proud they are of both of them, how grateful they are to witness this rekindling of their relationship.
Thank you for the privilege of allowing us to be here and to help you guys work through this.
They are excited to see how the relationship progresses and the happiness that awaits their future. And this is when the episode ends. There was no follow-up, so I don't know if they ever met her family. I don't know if they got married. I couldn't find any of their socials to do a little follow-up. I don't really know what happened here. I don't really know what happened after this. I don't even know what to say. I feel like I said it all throughout the episode. If you made it to the end of the episode, you could leave a little wedding related emoji, a lesbian related emoji down in the comments. I really need to know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions on this because I feel like I have mixed feelings. However, if Mia feels like she can forgive Kayla and she can trust her and she's gonna be happy in this relationship, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. What works for you might not work for me, but it doesn't have to work for me because I'm not you, you know? If you like the video, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you are aware of every single time that I upload. If there's another series, another show, another episode you'd like me to cover, you can drop it down in the comments or you can leave me a DM here on Instagram. I am also posting a lot more, Instagram content, makeup content to be specific over on Instagram. But if you want like in-depth makeup content, that is currently only on Patreon or for members. But maybe I'll be finding a way to bring that to you guys soon. Let me think on it. I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for all of your support and I'll see you in the next video.